Am I back? Who knows? This is weird. Looks like I'm not back. Or am I? Oh, wait. Maybe. Who knows? Okay. Oh, I am. I am sorry for all this weird technology stuff. All right, let's give this another try and see if things are better now, or if it kind of breaks off after a couple seconds again. Welcome back, everybody, to, well, what I would call maybe breakfast sprints if they work. So I guess I'll have to keep an eye on the on the stream counter, because I don't get like a notification or anything if it breaks off, which is frustrating. But that's I guess where we are technology-wise. I really need to find a better solution to this than using Restream, because recently Restream has certainly been fucking up. They always offer me to buy their well, paid option, but I don't know if that's you're not exactly doing great work selling it to me if every other time the stream just fails. That's not what makes me feel comfortable about the whole thing, right? But I just have to hope that this time it works. So welcome everybody to Breakfast Sprints. Slightly delayed, but at least we're back. Good morning, Jeroen. How are you doing? Sorry this took so long. It's all very frustrating. So I started the sprint and I went to YouTube to check if the sprint did start this time, unlike yesterday. And then I started, talking and so forth, and it canceled after 45 seconds. And it didn't even give like a notification, something like, stream canceled, whatever. So yeah, weird shit. And yeah, as I said before, we'll try the usual thing. I'll try to do, bureaucracy stuff, administrative stuff during the first 45 minutes, and then I'll try to actually do some writing during the second one. And then I'll try to, do some stuff at the gym, and then I'll be leaving until, well, Thursday. Definitely no sprints tomorrow and Thursday, because I'll be sleeping on a friend's couch, and that's not the place where I can just like start sprints in the morning. Also, they have school kids who will be there for breakfast during the first sprints, I assume, or even before that. So I guess we'll have to find out how that works. Yeah, I will have to figure out how to get my streaming stuff sorted in a way that works. I don't want to pay like StreamYard. I will not pay. They want 35 euros per month for a not exactly good streaming setup, and nah. Guess I have to figure out how to use OBS after all. I guess we'll do the first sprints in a few seconds, and then I can be back around, what's it called, 9 a.m. Yeah, sorry, this technology is not doing what it's supposed to do, but what can you do? So what are you going to read, do, or whatever, Jeroen? Just out of curiosity. As I said, I'll be checking all the emails I didn't read yesterday and checking all the comments I got on YouTube videos yesterday and replying to them because, that's always takes more time than I think it will. Yeah, exactly. That's the point. Like, $10, sure, but 35 per month is insane. I mean, because they're not exactly offering that much more when you pay. And then there's even like another level that costs even more. And yeah, as I said, and you can technically do all of that with OBS for free. And yes, it takes a bit of time to set this up, and that's kind of the main issue with OBS is just setup time. And I guess like technically having guests on is a bit more complex with OBS, but it can also be done. It's just like it takes a bit more time setting up because it's it's actual software that does do allow you to do basically everything. But as always with that kind of software, especially when it's open source, it kind of does take more setting up time, and it's not exactly made user friendly. I also need to find a new book today because I'm very much over the Mormon stuff. And that means I need to read something, but I can't read Mistborn quite yet. But I'm sure I'll find something interesting. I'm sure I'll find something interesting. Oh, right. That sounds interesting. I have still not read Legends and Lattes, so I haven't even thought about starting Bookshops and Bone Dust. I somehow feel that it's not the kind of book I would really enjoy that much. I mean, but who knows? Yeah, you're still not very happy with Pollen, I assume, if you're still trying to get through it. But as I like, I mean, I've only read the Gog Magog, and the next second part, Ludluda, will come out next Tuesday, I think. I have pre-ordered it, so yeah, should be there. And that one I really enjoyed, but he was writing that together with Steve Beard, and everyone who's called Beard is obviously my friend. So yeah, I might just go and read The Buried Giant by Katsuo Ishiguro because I've suggested it to my offline book club. I don't know if they'll vote for it or not. But I've said I wanted to read it for a long time, and it certainly beats reading more Brandon Sanderson, I guess. And it's super short. By super short, I mean like the audiobook is like 8 hours or something, so not something that will take me too long. So yeah, I would suggest now that it's 20 past, we'll do 45 minutes of sprinting. I'll be doing, well, my homework, so to speak, and then I'll be back at something like 9:05, and then we'll talk and see how far you've gotten with Pollen. And I've probably made new tea by then, and then I'll try to do the thing that I call writing, even though it's usually not that much writing. Oh, that sounds bad about pollen. Well, maybe at some point I'll read it, if I get to read more Jeff Noon. I'm certainly interested. But then I also want to read more Jeff Ryman, and there's no audiobooks for those kind of people, and it's kind of sad. But yeah, let's get some reading done. I'll mute myself, and I'll talk to you in 45 minutes. All right, I am somewhat back. Hey, Johnny. Welcome to these weird sprinty morning things that sometimes happen. And hello, Apollo. How you doing? I suspect you're working if you say that you can't actually write much in chat. I hope it's not too bad so far. I did read emails. I did reply to some comments. I still have comments to go through, which is, I mean, I guess it's good that I put out like 3 videos last week and the navel gazing thing yesterday, because like 4 videos means comments on 4 videos, but it's also still kind of annoying that for whatever reason I can only reply to comments on respond to comments on my phone because of like YouTube text stuff, which is so fucking annoying. Like I can only give like likes and the little hearts like things on the browser, and because that's no longer an option in the app for whatever reason, or at least the screen reader doesn't allow me to do it on the app. Obviously, phone screen reader is a different technology, so that's the issue there. But I can't actually reply to comments on my browser, so those I have to type on my phone, which is so ridiculous. But it's where we are. It's what I can do at the moment. So there's that. Yeah, I did decide to go for The Buried Giant after I finished, after my moment readings for now, because yeah, it's a book I wanted to read for quite some time, and I mean it's King Arthur adjacent, and as you may know, I have had some interest in Arthurian literature in the past, and feel that I kind of have to know stuff about Arthur now. I mean, I guess that's kind of that's an interesting question, right? I made this video on Arthurian literature last year, and it's pretty long, and I thought relatively well done. Obviously, very few people watched it in like the larger booktube sphere. Still, when they have questions about Arthurian literature, will go to other people because, of course, they will. But I feel somewhat obligated to know my way around Arthurian literature at this point, because in my not very humble opinion, I'm probably one of the top 3 experts on Arthurian literature on BookTube right now. I would argue that I am, just by virtue of having read some of them. I know Bridger on Library Letter did like a video on Arthurian literature. I haven't watched it because I can't stand his videos. That does sound messed up, Jeroen. But yeah, so as I said, I don't watch Library Letters videos because I can't stand his videos. Mostly, and I'm not talking about the content. I do have issues with his content, but it's mostly the way he talks that just like, how sometimes there's voices you just can't stand, and his is one of them. So I haven't watched his Arthurian literature video. I know he's got like way more views and people respect his opinions much more than mine. But anyway, I feel like I have this responsibility to know about Arthurian books, and well, The Buried Giant by Ishiguro is one that I haven't yet read yet, and one that I think is important. The other big one is, of course, the Pendragon Cycle by Stephen Lawhead, but I'm pretty sure I don't want to subject myself to that anytime soon, because it will definitely make me mad. I know that. Oh, nice. What kind of puzzle is it, Jeroen? Is it, I mean, is it a puzzle with a motif from Liechtenstein, or is it a puzzle that was produced in Liechtenstein? or both. Now that's the big question here. Anyway, so I decided to read The Buried Giant next because I need a break from the Mormon stuff, and I can't start. I don't want to start the next what's it called? Yeah, the Mistborn reread before I have recorded the stuff on Elantris. So I need something to fill my time, and since I'll be traveling tomorrow, as I said, no sprints tomorrow and no sprints on Thursday because I will be visiting friends to go and watch Jethro Tull play old music for old men like me, I guess. Although I'll probably still be one of the younger people at that concert. Ah, okay. No worries, Apollo. So the thing here that I find interesting, Jeroen, with the whole dog DNA dog thing is, I wonder if that's a deliberate reference to A Scanner Darkly by Philip K. Dick. Um, not to spoil anything, it's A Scanner Darkly is obviously an essential book to read if you want to understand Philip K. Dick. Hey, Peter. Yes, exactly, Peter. I'm very excited. Last time I saw Jethro Tull was in 2019 in Athens. They played a show in the Herodion, which is like a Roman amphitheater on, like, right on the hillside of the Acropolis, and that was really impressive. So I'm very excited to see them again now. So yeah, A Scanner Darkly is, of course, a absolute brilliant book, but it's also very hard to read because it's very much about drugs. And Philip K. Dick obviously took a lot of drugs, mostly speed. He tried some psychedelics at some point, and they threw his mind, already pretty broken mind, even further out there. And anyway, it's kind of darkly is about that, and it does have a very early on. It has a long sequence about someone who is very much on some kind of drugs, and thinks that he, in those drug visions, sees like cockroaches or beetles or like something like that, some bugs in his apartment, and also crawling over his dog. And he then like washes his dog constantly because he wants to free the dog from the beetles. So the idea of a drug trip, or something where you don't know if it's a drug trip or reality or whatever, with the dog DNA, feels like it might be referencing Philip K. Dick there, what with definitely being very much on the more postmodern side of genre fiction, and doing referencing stuff a lot. Nice, nice, Jeroen. That sounds really good. Yeah, Philip K. Dick can be hard. I mean, I don't know which book you've tried. There's certainly a different stuff happening throughout his career depending on what you read. I feel like probably his short stories are mostly more accessible, I think, but it's certainly a weird kind of thing. um, that's great, Apollo. I think so. Jethro Tull is definitely one of my more favorite bands. They do tick a lot of boxes for what I'm interested in because they are very nerdy on some level. They are, I mean, I do like sort of like folky music in general, if it's done in a what I would call sincere way. I like a lot of like older, like 60s, 70s acid folk stuff, like your Pentangles and Fairport Conventions, that kind of stuff. And Jeff Tull obviously kind of have a similar approach to some of the more like folkloric stuff, but they're also very angry and very political in some regards. And Ian Anderson is certainly someone who knows how to write interesting lyrics, and those things matter to me. I also got to interview Ian Anderson once, or tried to get to interview him. It was not exactly, it did not exactly end the way I thought it would. In that I asked like one question and then he just like ranted at me for like 45 minutes on the phone, which was really interesting. I now know a lot about his opinions on Formula One racing, public transport, and paying taxes, which was really interesting, but not exactly what you could then use for like an actual interview. Okay, yeah, Ubik is one hell of a mindfuck. I mean, I feel like something like Man in the High Castle might be more approachable in a lot of ways. I do very much enjoy Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep, but it is who it is very different from the movie, and it's probably even more depressing and even sadder. And oh, Apollo, there's a question I wanted to ask you, but I mean, you don't have to answer if it's too personal. Like your nickname here, Apollo, is that a reference to Greek mythology, or is that a reference to Ada Palmer's Terra Ignota? Just out of curiosity. Yeah, it was really funny in hindsight, but it was also very very interesting. Like on the other end, I got to talk to Don Airey from Deep Purple twice, and he's one incredibly nice person, a very very relaxed, very nice person to talk to, very thoughtful, funny, really cool person to interview. Anyway, that's sort of the plan for tomorrow, to go and yeah, see Jethro Tull play in Bremen, which yeah throws a bit of a wrench into like all plans of being productive throughout this week and doing making videos or whatever, because I can't necessarily record there either. So I have to figure out what to do, record all the videos I want to have for the next couple of days before I leave tonight. And yeah, I mean, I'll take my computer with me so I can at least try to get some writing done and other stuff. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting. As I said, I think Blade Runner the movie does capture the atmosphere of the story very well, but the plot is very different, and other stuff is also very different in the story, which is obviously not too long. So it's not, I mean, that's the thing with Philip K. Dick, right? Like all his books are fairly short, so you have not that much of a commitment there. Yeah, I really enjoyed. What did I read last time from Philip K. Dick? "Flow My Tears," the policeman said, which was really interesting. But like a lot of Philip K. Dick stories are sort of about losing contact to reality and this whole like question of illusion, paranoia, and stuff like that. So they can be a hard read because that stuff just, if you're already struggling with the reality, reading books to talk about whether it's actually true or not can be hard. And that's, I mean, part of what makes Ubik so hard to read, is like that you don't necessarily know what's real in that book. Well, if you haven't read the Terra Ignota series by Ada Palmer yet, Apollo, you might enjoy that. It does have a lot of very interesting things to say on gender. Um, I know that some people are critical of her approach to, especially stuff like non-binary identities, or gender fluidity. I wouldn't. I mean, I'm obviously not qualified to talk about that because I don't have like a personal experience with that. But it felt very interesting in a lot of ways, and is certainly Palmer is certainly a very much a pro-trans artist and so forth. So it's, if there's stuff that feels wrong, it's probably more like a lack of understanding or whatever. Also, I guess she started writing 10 years ago, and discourse has changed so much over the last 10 years. And there's a character called Apollo there, and like all characters in this book, most of them at least, they are very, very much uh, their question of gender is something that is up to a lot of interpretation, I guess. So I thought you might have picked the name Apollo there because of that. But yeah, long books with lots of philosophy and weirdness in them. All right, then have a good day, Apollo. I think it's also probably time to get the writing, reading, whatever stuff on track. Yeah, I'd be interested in your take on that, Peter. That sounds like something. Yeah, very good. So yeah, I mean, it's very much a unique kind of thing, and probably one of the best, or definitely most interesting and possibly influential pieces of science fiction of the 21st century, together with something like, of course, uh, what's it called, Broken Earth by N.K. Jemisin. All right, then let's try to be productive and get shit done. All right. I am slowly back. Hope you got something done. I certainly did not get as much done as I thought I would because suddenly other stuff came up and I had to message people back about organizing stuff. Someone wants to pick up vinyl records from here, and I'm not at home, so I need to contact my flatmate, and it's all kind of, a bit of a mess. But I did, in fact, manage to write sort of 2 scripts for like videos. So when I come back from the gym, I can record 2 videos. So there will be something up for the either today or tomorrow or Thursday while I'm away, which I think is a good thing. And I'm proud of you, Peter, for at least someone is working. That's good. Obviously, someone has to. So, yeah, as I said, no sprints tomorrow and on Thursday. The poll for the whatever I'll be reading over Christmas or over the holidays is up. It is going well so far. I feel, I guess when I checked before stream started, Redwall was slightly in the lead. I'm sure this will change over time, but right now Redwall is certainly in the lead. So yeah, thanks for hanging out, everybody. I'll be packing my stuff to hit the gym for a while. And I'm sure nothing bad will ever happen there. So talk to you in some video comments or whatever online, wherever we'll meet. And I'll obviously be back with a sprint on Friday if technology does the things technology is supposed to do.